Hi everybody, how are you? My name is Kelley. I hope that you're doing well this week. And I'm here today and we're going to do a couple of breathing exercises. And then we're going to do a few exercises with our hands that will enhance the way that our brain works, our hand-to-eye coordination. But let's start off with some breathing exercises first, just to set our day well. So this is called a Hoberman sphere, and you and I have used these together before. They're really pretty, they're really fun, but they're great for helping us with our breath work. So if you wouldn't mind just finding a place to sit and relax, sit nice and comfortable and have your feet gently placed on the floor. You can actually push them out a little bit if you'd like to, so that they're not doing a lot of work, as long as you feel secure in your seat. And I'm going to have you just take a seat and sit back and relax a little bit. The only thing that I really want you to focus on right now is going to be our breath work, our breathing. So we've talked about this before, so I'm sorry to repeat myself, but it is important information for people to know that if the breathing doesn't feel comfortable for you, if the breathing exercise that we do is making you feel short of breath or nervous in any way, just go back to your normal way of breathing. To change our breath is very difficult. Some of us have been breathing this way, our normal way, for decades. So this isn't something that's going to change quickly, and I want you to just be really comfortable with it. So if we're doing the breath exercises today and you feel nervous or like it's a little bit too hard, I want you to just be like, okay, I'm just gonna go back to my normal breathing for a couple of seconds, and maybe I'll just listen and try it another time. So please don't let this become a source of stress for you. So nice and comfortable, the first thing I'd like you to do is take one of your hands, doesn't matter which one, and I'm gonna have you place it just below your rib cage, where the two ribs meet, right at your diaphragm. So I'm gonna have you place your hand there. And I'd like you to take a breath in through your nose and see what happens to that hand. So I'm gonna do it and I'll show you what happens to my hand. After I practice this, when I first learned this technique, it didn't happen for me automatically. So don't feel like you're doing it wrong if it doesn't happen right away. So I'm gonna inhale through my nose and watch my hand. See how my hand came right out, as did my belly, which I just love that part of it. And now I'm gonna exhale out pursed lips, so like I'm blowing through a straw, and my hand's gonna go back in. So let's try that again together. We're gonna inhale through our nose, and now exhale out pursed lips. And the hand goes back in. So now I just want you to relax for a second. So when we inhale, we're filling up the lobes in our lungs. And we have 2 lobes on one side, which is the side of our heart, and we've got 3 lobes on the other side, which is the side that we don't have our heart. So the 2 lobes are smaller there to make room for our heart. So when we breathe just naturally, like without really thinking about it, we probably are only filling up one part of that very first lobe. And when we are going to do conscious breathing, or breathing that can actually restore us, breathing that can slow our heart rate down, breathing that can really have a positive impact on us mentally and physically, we're going to try to control the breath and get our breath deep into all of the lobes of our lungs. So we've got 5 altogether. We just talked about that we only usually fill up part of, or maybe all of, that very first one. And now we're going to talk about how to get all of the lobes filled up with beautiful fresh oxygen, and then how we're going to get rid of all of that oxygen once it is spent and all used up. Alrighty, so this is going to help us because this also can appear like it's inflating and deflating. So let's just say that this is where we normally breathe to. If we're just sitting around, relaxing, not being aware of our breath, and there really isn't anything wrong with this breath. It's just not healing and it's not restorative. So we do want to take time during our day, when we're comfortable with it and when we're in a safe area to do so, to really expand our breath and get more oxygen in, so that we're really filling all of the lobes of our lungs up. And then we're going to also talk about exhaling, so that we're getting rid of all of the used up and the spent oxygen, which is now carbon dioxide, to purge almost all of that. Alrighty, so we just talked about using our hand on our area right below our ribs where the two rib cages meet. And we're going to inhale through our nose. And I want you to think about filling up your Hoberman sphere, or like your lungs are this Hoberman sphere. And we're going to inhale till our lungs are full, okay? So put your hand right here, and we're going to inhale together. And as we inhale, this hand should come out, remember? So it's going to come out to make room. The lungs are filling up. They're looking for more space. Our diaphragm is going to push down because it's the lungs are pushing on it. And when that diaphragm pushes down, that's when our belly pops out. And that's okay. So please don't, if you're uncomfortable with that, I understand. It may take you more time. You may not really want that. But it really is okay. I would love to know that we're comfortable enough to let our belly pop out a little bit to improve so many other aspects of our life. So let's try it together. Ready? So first let's exhale just a little bit. Exhale out, pursed lips like you're blowing through a straw. Very good. Now we're going to inhale in through our nose all the way until our hand pops out. We really can't take any more in. Nice and gentle. All the way, got it? Great. And now slowly we're going to exhale out, pursed lips again. And allow those lungs to deflate. Until they're all the way down to almost nothing. And let's try it one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And you'll notice that when you're exhaling, your hand and your belly are going to go back to where they started. Let's do that one more time. And this time I'm going to keep both of my hands on the Hoberman sphere just so that I can help you follow along a little bit better. So let's inhale deeply through the nose, nice and relaxed. Here we go. Hold that breath for just a moment. We're just pausing. And now let's exhale out, pursed lips like you're pushing a little bit, blowing out candles maybe. We're also slowing the exhale down by exhaling out a straw. So slow your exhale down, making the exhale last longer than your inhale. The exhale should be a little bit longer than the inhale. Very good. This time, let's try it again. Let's inhale. Letting that belly come out if you're comfortable with that. We'll pause here for just a moment. And now let's exhale again. And this time, as we're exhaling, I'd like you to consciously relax your body and allow your head a gentle forward roll to rest your chin down on your chest. And we'll pause there for a moment. Inhale nice and deep. And exhale out, pursed lips. Allowing your head to lower gently to rest your chin on your chest just for a moment. Very good. And now just relax. Go back to normal breathing. Really think about allowing your shoulders to relax and soften. Your jaw, allowing your jaw to loosen up a little bit if you happen to clench. You can feel free to close your eyes and just enjoy that moment of relaxation. It's a nice feeling. So we can use this breathing technique anytime that we feel like we are in a safe enough area to do so. We probably wouldn't want to do this in the beginning, especially like while we were driving a car, operating. But what about if we were sitting in a traffic jam? that might be a good time to just try a little breathing exercise, especially if you're feeling a little bit stressed from that traffic jam. So there would be an appropriate time to do it when you were in a car, but just not while you're driving. It can also be a wonderful exercise to do if you're trying to go to sleep at night and you might feel a little bit of tension or your mind is very busy. Just take a few moments to do your breathing exercises, especially this diaphragmatic breathing exercise where we're filling the lungs up and holding, exhaling fully and completely out pursed lips, making the exhale longer than the inhale. And at the end of the exhale, allow your chin to rest down on your chest and be very conscious about relaxing your shoulders. And these things can be so helpful to bring down our level of stress and also allowing the body to go on and heal some things and restore us to a healthier state. So that being said, we're going to move on to another type of breathing exercise. Now, right now, in our world, we're not really supposed to touch our face. So what I'd like you to do is be sure before we do this exercise that your hands are very clean. So if you would like to stop your video right now and go wash your hands, you can do that. And then when you come back, just press play again so that you can try this other breathing exercise, which is also very restorative and a little bit more stimulating than the one we just did. So go ahead and hit stop if you want to go ahead and wash your hands, and then just hit play when you come back. And I'll be right here. Alrighty, so if you already had nice clean hands or you just came back from washing your hands, I'm going to have you sit nice and relaxed like you were before, only this time we're going to make a peace sign. And we're going to take that peace sign and bring it towards our face this way. And we're going to actually take one of the fingers, the middle finger, and put it to one side of our nostril. So in my sitting arrangement right now, I'm using my middle finger on my left nostril, and I'm going to use my index finger on my right nostril. But whatever one works best for you and whatever position you're in is fine. Just please be sure that your hands are clean before we do this exercise. But this is a very stimulating exercise. It will bring stimulation to the side of the brain that we are inhaling to, and it is also extremely restorative for our body. So what we're going to be doing, it's alternate nostril breathing, and we're going to cover one nostril like that. You can fold the other two fingers down if you want to. It looks like I just did something really fresh, but I didn't. So you can fold the other two fingers down in your palm if you want to. So we would cover one nostril and inhale through the other one. Hold that breath for just a nanosecond. Very good. And now we're going to switch our fingers and exhale out the other side. Now don't switch here, because what I'd like you to do is cover, we're going to inhale through that one, so you're going to stay covering your right side. Go ahead and inhale. And switch and exhale. 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 Inhale. This time we're going to slow it down at the inhale top and the exhale bottom. So let's inhale. Hold. And exhale. Hold and switch. Hold and exhale. hold, and switch. Hold and exhale. Very good. And let's relax. And again, we need to clean our fingers now, clean our hands now, not because our noses are exceptionally dirty, but because we don't want to transmit anything from our nose to our eyes or mouth or anywhere in our area. So take a moment and go ahead and wash your hands. I'm going to do the same thing. I have a wipe right in my bag, so excuse me just for nice clean hands. Great. So just to be clear, we washed our hands, cleaned our hands before we touched our nose and then after we touched our nose. Still got to be so careful. So we learned 2 breathing techniques today. One of them will really help us relax, lower our heart rate, bring us a little bit more focus. It reduces stress. It's a beautiful technique that we can use anytime we would like to. And that's the diaphragmatic breathing. The second one that we did is alternate nostril breathing. And that type of breathing, we're switching from one side to the other, one nostril to the other, inhaling and exhaling before we switch to the opposite side. And that is actually a little bit stimulating to the brain. If you're a writer, let's say, and you've got like a writer's block, or if you've been working on a decorating project and you just really can't get the feel for what you want to do with it next. If your mind is very busy and it's filled with cluttery thoughts and squirrely little chipmunk noises, that technique will really help clear the path for creativity and clearer thinking. But both of them are wonderfully healthy and both are also very restorative. So feel free to do that at any time. Now the last thing that I wanted to do with you is a couple of hand exercises that are great to reconnect our mind with our body movements. You know, our brain, we look at something, we take in the information, and then we're going to respond to that. And sometimes hand exercises are very easy, very fun, and very hard. Like, you'll be surprised how hard this next exercise that I'm going to give you can be. But it's really fun, and it's something that you can do, you know, if you're having your coffee, sitting comfortable in the morning having your coffee. It's something you can do anywhere. So what we're going to start off doing is pretend that we've got plastic guns in our hands. If you can see that, I have a trigger and a barrel. And what I'm going to do, and what I'd like you to try doing, is alternate putting down one trigger and pulling in the other barrel. And then we're going to switch. And then we're going to switch. And then switch. And don't get discouraged if this is hard, because it's very hard. But if you think about it, you would be thinking, well, I should be able to do this very easily. And we all should be able to do this very easily. But what if we haven't asked our body or our brain to do this in so long, and now it's become a challenge? So that's why these simple things, or things that should be very simple, are important to continue to do and challenge ourselves. So this is like a mini pathway builder in a way, that we're reminding our body that we can do this activity. And it's very hard, isn't it? It's surprisingly hard. So I'll show you again with my fingers up. I have 2 guns, and I'm going to alternate putting down one trigger and pulling in one barrel, and then switching, and then switching, and then switching. And when I started doing this, I laughed so hard because I couldn't do it at all. And you just have to stay at it. It's something you can do every day. Now, the other one that really helps us too with the hand-to-eye coordination, and again, this looks very simple, but it can be challenging. We'll start with just one hand. I'm going to take my hand and just roll my fingers down in that direction. And when I open my fingers back up, I'm going to open them up in the same direction. So we have a natural process in our brain that makes us want to put the index finger down first, but I want you to try leading with the pinky. Alrighty, so here we go. So lead with the pinky, all the way down, and now lead with the pinky coming up. Lead with the pinky, and lead with the pinky. Very good. Same thing, and again, down and lead with the pinky again. Great, let's go to the other hand. And you might find it completely different with the other hand. Ready? Here we go. Roll down and roll up from the pinky. Roll down, roll up from the pinky. Down and up from the pinky. Good. And up from the pinky. Now we're going to try both hands. Ready? Pinky leads. Here we go. Roll down. See, that was hard for me on my left side. And then roll up. Roll down. And then roll up. Roll down. And then roll up. Down and up. So it seems natural for us to want to go the other way, but we're going to control it by always leading with the pinky until we want to change that, and then we can always lead with the index finger, but we'll do that next week. So I hope that you had a nice session today. I hope you're all doing wonderful and that you're feeling well and looking forward to, maybe sometime over the summer or whenever it is, all of us reuniting again. So chin up, everybody. We'll see you soon. Thank you.